Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Tonight, a glimmer of hope for drivers on the north side of San Antonio. In the coming weeks, crews are going to start an extension project to connect Sonterra Boulevard to Loop 1604. That project is expected to last a year. I know what you're thinking. What about those delays? Well, as the night team's Avery Everett tells us, there's a new effort now to keep future road construction right on schedule.
What's now a clear roadway will soon be riddled with construction. In the coming weeks, city contractors will kick off the Sonterra Road Extension Project. This is on the far north side, in an area known for its congestion.
And a lot of that traffic just stops at the end of Sonterra, and it has to go back and try and mix and mingle with 281 traffic to get onto 1604.
District 9 Councilman John Courage says he drives this road regularly, and on a Sunday morning, with Community Bible Church traffic, he says cars are backed up for blocks.
There's been a lot of growth all along Sonterra Boulevard. It can get pretty congested, especially with traffic coming out of the church.
The extension would clear out some of the land right behind me to better connect Sonterra Boulevard to Loop 1604. Now, this is just one of dozens of construction projects either happening right now in San Antonio or ones that are set to start this summer. That's why Council Member Sokor is so determined to try to cut down construction delays with the Council consideration request.
We are trying to help mitigate.
The request would include and invest in subsurface utility engineering. This would help contractors figure out where underground utilities are before starting construction. It also looks to create a comprehensive drawing and documentation system for roadways and construction projects.
So this is just a proactive solution. It costs more on the front end because it takes more time on the front end, but we're hoping that it'll save significant time on the back end.
This request has to head to the governance committee before becoming a reality. But as more construction projects pile up across the city, change will come either way. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
So Avery highlighted one of the many construction spots all over town. You know, when you want to know anything about traffic, come right here to KSAT. Right now, if you want to scan the QR code on your screen, it takes you to our traffic authority page where you'll find a list of traffic closures across the city. And we also share the detours that you can take. Detours are exactly what people relied on to get around San Antonio's north side today. It's what it looked like earlier today at 1604 and 281. We know that traffic was backed up for hours after a concrete truck overturned. San Antonio police believe that truck was in the westbound lanes of 1604 when it crashed right through concrete lane dividers and wound up in the eastbound lanes. Look at that. The truck's cab, front corner, smashed in. The driver was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Tonight, the search is over for this man. This is Ronnie Palmer, who you see here on your screen. Just a few hours ago, the Harris County Sheriff's Department said they found him. They think he's connected to the murder of a Harris County Sheriff's deputy. We want to show you 28-year-old Fernando Esqueda. That deputy was killed last night. Right now, investigators believe that he was ambushed and shot. So let's go back to how this connects to Palmer, the guy that we first showed you. Well, the Harris County Sheriff's Office believes that Palmer pistol whipped a Little Caesars employee last night after the worker got his order wrong. So while authorities were out looking for Palmer, investigators say that Esqueda found Palmer's car. That's when he was attacked. That's when he was shot. Deputy Esqueda died then at the hospital. And after deputies arrested Palmer, the Harris County Sheriff said this about its fallen deputy.
He's an amazing young man, taken far too soon, a hero. He was a true crime fighter that always was go, 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 and was just loved serving and protecting the people. He loved being a cop. He loved being a Harris County Sheriff's Office deputy, and he will be missed.
Now, earlier today, Governor Greg Abbott releasing a statement about the fallen Harris County Sheriff's deputy, and it reads in part, quote, "Our hearts are with the family and loved ones of Harris County Sheriff's Deputy Fernando Esqueda, whose life was tragically taken while protecting his fellow Texans," end quote.
The consideration is that I think I'm the most qualified person to run for president. I beat him once, and I will beat him again.
President Joe Biden there, defiant, saying he's not dropping out of the race, and he made that clear hours ago during his first news conference since he debated former President Donald Trump 2 weeks ago. In the time since, a lot of Democrats have chimed in. They've been asking him to leave the race, and the ones who didn't, they put a lot of stock into today's news conference. Now, tonight was the first time since debate night that President Biden answered unscripted questions. Some of them were about his fitness to serve a second term. And when a reporter asked President Biden if he had taken cognitive tests, listen to what he said.
I'm tested every single day about my neurological capacity to do decisions I make every day.
Now, the president went on to say that he still believes he has the best chance to beat former President Donald Trump come this November. Now, we also want to remind you, we here at KSAT, we are your home for all of your election coverage. Scan that QR code on your screen, and it'll take you to our Vote 2024 page right on KSAT.com. Tonight, we're waiting to learn the fate of the man that you see here, Cavante Walls. He's on trial, accused of killing his roommate back in May of 2022. Now, Walls admits that he shot Mario Miller, but told the jury today that when he did it, it was in self-defense. On the day of the shooting, Walls said that he was trying to pick up his own money to pay rent when the two began arguing. Walls told the jury that Miller tried to attack him with scissors and then found Walls' rent money and shoved it into his own bag.
And he was just continuing to make threats like, I'm gonna stab you, I'm gonna kill you.
So once there was a wall between them, Walls says that that's when he decided to shoot.
Prior to this, he continued to attack me when he seen me, so I didn't want him to rush me again, so I just fired the shot. It wasn't my intentions to necessarily hit him, it was just to scare him.
So that self-defense claim, that's the one that the jury is going to have to consider. Deliberations are set to begin tomorrow morning at 8:30. Just a reminder that Walls faces up to life in prison if he's convicted. And when a decision is reached, KSAT is going to bring you the verdict on air and also online. Toddler's dead tonight after he was found floating in a pool. Happened at the Villas of Vista del Norte. San Antonio police say that someone found 2-year-old Amari Joby in that pool that you see there. Originally, his family thought that he had disappeared. After the child was found, his mother performed CPR to try and save him until EMS got there. It was too late. Amari was rushed to the hospital, but that's where he died. So it's a horrible tragedy that can often be avoided. That's why we want to remind you about safety precautions that you can take in the pool like this. Always, always make sure that when a child's in the pool that someone is supervising. It's also a good idea to learn how to perform CPR because it's a life-saving skill. An update now to a child abuse case that we brought to you yesterday. Child Protective Services has taken custody of all of the 4 children of the 2 parents who were accused of severely injuring a 4-month-old baby. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office arrested those parents today, walked them in front of our cameras. Now, Sheriff Javier Salazar says that Jacobo Jimenez Sanchez and Andrea Mena are both facing charges tonight. Back in May, doctors noticed that their 4-month-old baby had a head injury. The sheriff says that one of the child's siblings had told investigators that they saw Sanchez throw the baby on the floor. We learned today that that's not the first time the family has dealt with accusations of violence, and you can read more about their history right now on KSAT.com. We also want to take this opportunity to remind you that if you or someone you know is in a domestic violence situation, please get help. There is help out there. Scan the QR code on your screen. It's going to take you to a list of resources that we have compiled for you. We just want to remind you, please don't suffer in silence. Up in Houston, so many of our friends are going to spend yet another night in the heat. As of now, under 1 million homes and businesses don't have power. It is getting better, but still not good enough. The area's energy provider, CenterPoint Energy, says that work is still ongoing. According to CenterPoint's website, the company is expecting to have 80% of all power outages restored by the end of the day on Sunday. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that's going to happen. And by the way, you're going to love to hear this. Texans helping Texans. We know that this morning, the San Antonio Police Department sent 23 officers to help our neighbors up in Houston, and they're going to be there helping through Sunday. It is great.
Texans helping
Yes.
Texans.
Love
I
that.
love that so much. And Houston actually had some intense thunderstorms move through earlier this afternoon. Heavy rainfall, some lightning, some gusty winds. It wasn't for everybody across south central Texas closer to home today, but we did manage to find some spotty thunderstorms and some downpours out there, especially across our southern and western counties. You can see a lot of that activity now coming to an end. We had some lingering showers across portions of LaSalle and Dimmitt counties. That is all starting to fizzle out. By the way, that green that you're seeing there in Uvalde and Kinney County is just some of that radar noise this Thursday night. Looking ahead to Friday and Saturday, if you didn't tap into any rain today, there's a 30% chance for a few afternoon pop-up showers and storms tomorrow and again into the first half of the weekend. This weekend, though, is also when we're going to be monitoring for a plume of Saharan dust to head our direction, potentially haze up the sky a little bit. And then into next week, focus turns to rain chances coming down and temperatures warming back up. We're going to get you all those details coming up a little bit later on.
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you. In other news now, actress Shelley Duvall has died. She reportedly died in her sleep at her home in Blanco, Texas, of complications with diabetes. Duvall was known for her standout performances, starring opposite Jack Nicholson in the horror film The Shining and Robin Williams in the comedy Popeye. Duvall was 75 years old. We love local talent, and right there we are shining the spotlight on the local music scene with our latest installment of SA Vibes. That, my friends, is KSAT's local music series, and each month we feature a new artist or a new band, and this month it's that band. It's Combo Cosmico. It's a psychedelic cumbia band. Makes sense, right? Now you can check them out by scanning the QR code to the left of your screen. You could also watch them on the air this Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Now stick around. This is a topic. It's not going away. You know this. People are asking, are the Spurs moving downtown? While we don't have that answer yet, we are getting clues about what could come. And that's next on the Night Beat. We're going to take a moment now to just correct the record. A moment ago, we told you about the trial of Cavante Walls, who is accused of shooting and killing his roommate. The question is whether it was in murder or self-defense. That's what a jury has to decide. We had said incorrectly before that the deliberations are going to begin tomorrow at 8:30. Not true. The closing arguments in that case are set to begin at 8:30. And of course, KSAT's going to be there on air and online and giving you the latest updates on that. All right, so now let's move on. Look up. More than 700,000 light fixtures are being recalled. Yeah, Best Lighting Products says that this applies to the high bay LED light fixtures. The Consumer Product Safety Commission is saying that the LED board could become loose and cause fires. 3 fires have already been reported as a result of those fixtures, but luckily nobody's been hurt. We're going to keep asking. We're going to keep asking whether the Spurs are going to move from the Frost Bank Center to another arena. As you know, those rumors have been swirling for a long time. KSAT's been doing some digging. We went to the city of San Antonio and we asked for the Hemisphere Master Plan and also about possible upgrades to the Alamo Dome. We're just asking. Now, for now, the city's withholding that information. However, we did see a series of letters that companies who may be working with the city and the Spurs received. Some of those companies specialize in creating entertainment centers and venues. Now, so far, the Spurs haven't publicly said anything about a potential downtown arena, but of course, we're going to keep asking. So now we want to ask you a question. Do you think that taxpayer dollars, your taxpayer dollars, should pay for downtown entertainment like, say, I don't know, a Spurs arena? Well, scan the QR code on your screen right now and let us know. We'll have your answers tomorrow on GMSA starting at 5 a.m. Just part of a conversation that we're starting. We'd like to hear from you. All right, speaking of tomorrow morning, it will be Friday.
It will be Friday. And if you didn't find rain today, there is the chance that some of us could find a few downpours and non-severe storms again tomorrow to kind of wrap up the work week's plans. It wasn't for everybody, as we mentioned earlier, especially here in San Antonio. Yesterday, the central and southern portions of Bexar County tapped into much needed rain. Tuesday, it was the northern half of Bexar County, so you're able to balance it out a little bit. Our southwestern counties were the big winners today. Tuesday. Cotulla Authority radar estimating about 1.5 inches. A little pocket in northwestern LaSalle County, just west of I-35. Radar estimating over 2 inches of needed rain was able to fall. We managed to find one small downpour on the far south side of San Antonio, south of 1604. About 0.3 of an inch estimated there, but a few pockets, northern Karnes County, parts of Lavaca County, about 1.5 inches, and even Concan near the Frio, of course, an area that will definitely take any rain that they can get. Authority radar estimating about 1 inch of needed rain fell there as well. And you can see, as of the latest drought monitor update that was released earlier this morning, we will still take anything that we can get. Here in the Alamo City, we're in moderate drought, but we still do have a few different pockets of extreme drought in place, one across portions of the Hill Country and one out west near the Rio Grande for places like Bracketville as well as Del Rio. Not a whole lot of change, unfortunately, in this drought monitor update, but it does not include the rain that we saw yesterday or on Tuesday. That will be included in next week's update. So again, looking ahead to the next 48 hours, we still have 30% potentials to find a few isolated to widely separated showers and storms. Then after that, by Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday, rain chances are going to come down and focus is going to be on the heat. Here's the latest look at your futurecast depicting what the radar could look like throughout our Friday. By 7 a.m., not a whole lot going on. I do think mostly cloudy skies will be in place throughout the majority of the day. By lunchtime, though, it's possible that we find a few isolated downpours closer to the Alamo City, something to check back in on before heading out for any lunchtime plans. And then there's that 30% chance into the afternoon. If you do tap into a quick downpour, that could potentially lead to some reduced visibility, maybe a few soggy spots out there for the evening commute. And then like today, in the past several days, after the sun goes down, we lose that daytime heat. Whatever is left out there, it looks to fizzle out. Other than that, here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast. 74 degrees at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, 86 expected for any lunchtime plans at noon. And then we've got a high temperature topping off right near 93. I think most of us climb into the low to mid 90s, but it'll feel more like the upper 90s when you factor in all of that humidity. Around 94 on Saturday, then we crank those temperatures up even more so. And that's going to be thanks to this high pressure system that's currently over the Gulf of Mexico. That's going to nudge closer to the state of Texas into the upcoming weekend and even more so into early next week. So you can see how temperatures respond. Upper 90s expected as early as the back half of the weekend, and that will continue all the way through next week as well. Briefly, I do want to touch on the tropics. This time last week, we were monitoring what would become Hurricane Beryl. A little bit of a break. Tropical cyclone activity not expected in the Atlantic basin over the next 7 days, according to the National Hurricane Center. And a lot of that is because of a few different plumes of Saharan dust moving across the Atlantic basin. I do think it's possible we see some of that work in this weekend to at least parts of the south central Texas sky. Oftentimes, it just creates a hazy sky and, of course, some colorful sunrises and sunsets, but sometimes it can affect those with severe allergies. So we'll be monitoring that as well. Again, especially in that Saturday and Sunday time frame before those rain chances come down early next week, and the focus will be on those temperatures. In the meantime, let's take a look outside with live cam. We're in the low 80s right now, feeling a few degrees warmer when you factor in the humidity. Was a little breezy earlier this evening, but Steph, those winds are starting to calm.
Okay, thank you. So a little bit of a blast from the past.
Yes.
Danny Green saying something about the Spurs.
Yeah, so Danny Green is holding a 3 basketball camps. He started off with one here in San Antonio. And of course, Danny Green, former member of the Spurs, part of that 2014 NBA championship squad. We got his thoughts on what the Spurs have done so far this offseason. And Wemby, well, he was up for an ESPY tonight. Coming up.
It's not just about basketball, it's about life, learning to do things the right way, using your resources and working hard. There's no shortcuts to being successful.
Some wise words from former Spurs shooting guard Danny Green will take you to his basketball camp in Big Board Sports. Spurs big man Victor Wembanyama was one of 4 athletes nominated for the Best Breakthrough Athlete at the 2024 ESPY Awards tonight. Wemby went up against LSU gymnast Haley Bryant, Southern California basketball player Juju Watkins, and Houston Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud, and the winner is Juju Watkins. Now, the ESPYs have been around since 1993, and since 2004, the voting process has expanded to include sports journalists, broadcasters, athletes, sports executives, ESPN personalities, along with fan votes. All right, the Spurs today announced their 2024-25 preseason schedule. They'll play 5 games with a trio of games at home and 2 on the road. That will give us our first look at Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes playing alongside Wemby and that young Spurs roster. So their first 3 preseason games are all at the Frostbank Center. That's Monday, October 7th against the Thunder, October the 9th against the Magic, and Saturday, October 12th versus the Jazz. They'll close out the preseason on the road with 2 games, October 15th at Miami, and then Thursday, October 17th at the Rockets. The Sotomayor High School gym erupted tonight when former Spur Danny Green walked in the gym for his bowling in the 2-1-0 basketball camp. 117 campers got to learn from Danny, who made San Antonio his first stop of the 3 camps he's holding in 3 days. Ball handling and fundamental drills were worked on as Danny monitored and mentored where he could. So we asked Danny if he were one of the campers, what would he want to get out of this camp?
I would just ask as many questions as possible. Get a chance to ask a professional some of his inside stories or insight, but learn how to get to where he got to if I want to be a player. But if not anything else, but just ask a bunch of questions and obviously learn the game of basketball, learn certain small things that I could learn from a professional or other coaches here that I might not learn at home.
Having been part of the Spurs' 2014 NBA championship team, he still roots for the silver and black, and he hopes to see them bounce back this upcoming season. After the Spurs brought in Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes, Danny told us what he thinks of the recent additions.
I like it. I love it. We got 2 Carolina guys here now, Harrison Barnes and then Harrison Ingram. We got 2 Harrisons, so it's great, man. I love the start of it. Obviously, at Wemby, picked up some good draft picks, so it's looking pretty good. You know, it's only going to hopefully take sooner than later, but I hope another year or 2 for you guys to get the pieces you need. I would expect a better year. Incremental, I don't know what your definition of incremental is, but I do expect more wins, and I could see them possibly being in the play-in.
Danny is holding a camp in Corpus Christi tomorrow and then another in Edinburgh on a Saturday. Team USA opened exhibition play by beating Canada 86-72 last night in Las Vegas. Some of the big names on the roster include LeBron, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, and Jason Tatum. With so many talented players on the roster, figuring out a starting 5 will take a little time.
You kind of can't go wrong picking a starting lineup, you know, with this group. So and I think I told you guys the other day, I'm going to do something different. The next 2 games, we're going to just look at a few different combinations before we settle on anything.
It's a test and it's a challenge to try to figure out, like Coach said, there's the chemistry, the just the flow and the rhythm, especially on offense, because there's a temptation to defer, there's a temptation to overthink every possession because everybody can make a play.
Team USA will play 2 exhibition games in Abu Dhabi and then 2 more in the UK before starting group play in the Paris Summer Olympics. Dak Prescott is working out with CeeDee Lamb after the break. Dak Prescott going deep to CeeDee Lamb is what Dallas fans want to see, but with Lamb holding out for a long-term extension, we don't know when that will happen again. Lamb is entering the final year of his rookie deal that will pay him $18 million this season. He's racked up more than $100K in fines for skipping the team's offseason program. Dak says they've been working out together on their own and that Lamb is ready to go. At his youth football camp, Dak was asked, how many passes has he thrown to Lamb this offseason?
I don't know. I can't necessarily count them, so a good amount. A good amount? Yeah, but CeeDee's going to be ready. A player like that, an athlete like that, he makes my job easier. As long as he's training, trust me, we'll be just fine, and I'm excited for it.
2 weeks from today, the Cowboys will hold their first practice at training camp in Oxnard, California, and KSAT 12 Sports will be there.
Let's go.
2 weeks.
I can't believe it.
Wow.
All right, thank you. We'll be right back.
All right, we'll be starting off tomorrow in the mid-70s before highs reach for the low 90s. Pretty seasonable tomorrow afternoon, but of course this time of year we know that just means hot, especially if you don't tap into one of those isolated downpours or a non-severe storm. More of the same into Saturday, then rain chances come down by the back half of the weekend. Focus will turn to temperatures with highs in the upper 90s all the way through next week, Steph.
Yeah, seasonal now is just caliente.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for staying up with us tonight. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay cool.